So if I had a time machine and I could travel back all the way back to 1996 when I started out, what were the key things that I did that have led to all the success? So that was an interesting question that just came in, and I started writing down some notes, and I came up with a great big list. There were plenty of things I did wrong, trust me on this. There were plenty of things I did wrong, but there was also a certain number of things that I did right that really I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gotten these things right. Somehow gotten them right, gotten lucky and gotten them right from the very beginning. So big long list. I can't cover them all in this video. If this one goes well, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll keep the time travel series going. But and this is the cursed time travel. This video is probably the most difficult video I've had in a long time, just technically, with the memory card going bad and lighting conditions changing and dogs barking and battery dying, and so this is take probably number 17. But here we go with the time travel. So August 30th, 1996, that's when I started out. And I'll come back to that August 30th in just a second. But back then, obviously the world was very, very different. The number of people that were online was much, much smaller. So my audience was much, much smaller. The tools that were available were paled in comparison to what we have now. Doing the very basic things was hard. There wasn't things like video. There wasn't things like iPhones and smartphones. The people weren't, if you wanted to go online, you got on your computer and you started your dial-up connection. It was just very, very different. But one of the things that I did was I started publishing. And that's why I mark August 30th, 1996 as the day I started, even though that wasn't the day I made any money. I was still months away from making money, but I started publishing, and that's what put me in business. And I specifically published an email newsletter. And so there's three words there: publish, email, newsletter. The most important word there is publish. Forget the email newsletter. It was a good idea then. Frankly, it's still a good idea now, and people are having a lot of success with it. But there are many, many ways to publish, and that's just one of them. The reason I did it back then was that was the only thing I knew how to do, was send email. And so that first email newsletter, it was a newsletter about the stock market. Why was it about the stock market? Because I had a lot of knowledge about the stock market. I had a lot of passion for it. I'd studied the stock market extensively. Now, I want to note that I didn't have any credentials. I wasn't a stockbroker. I didn't have an MBA. I didn't have any initials after my name. I wasn't a registered investment advisor, but I started publishing. And I did have expertise. I'd studied the market for years. And by publishing, I started to establish that expertise for the public or for my readers. And they started to understand that I had that expertise. And so that's why publishing it's the foundation of any digital business, and it's still that way till today. It doesn't have to be an email newsletter. It could be videos like this. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be Instagram. It could be Facebook. It could be any number of social platforms, but start publishing. And once you start publishing, you will start to build positioning, and you will start to be perceived as an expert, and you'll get better at it. My first newsletter was horrible. I haven't looked at it in a long time. I don't even know if I've still got it anywhere, but I'm sure it wasn't very good. But I do know that my writing got better. And my voice, I became more confident in my voice and expressing myself. And that voice set me apart from other people, because there's all kinds of people that were, even back then, there were a lot of people publishing. There's always going to be a lot of people publishing. But when you publish, your voice is what sets you apart and attracts the people to you who should be attracted to you. You don't want to be appealing to everyone, and I certainly didn't appeal to everyone then. Don't appeal to everyone now. And if you're trying to appeal to everyone, it's not going to work. You have to have your voice in your publishing. You have to be distinct. It's not like you have to come up with the absolute brand new something that's never been done before, but you have to bring your personality to it. And by publishing, you create that authority, you create the following, you're seen as an expert, but you also find your voice and you attract your people. So that was the absolute most important first thing that I did. August 30th, 1996, that first email newsletter went out to 17 people outside my immediate home. And everything has grown from that. The next big thing I did, and I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave the next one out for you. If you like this and you want some more time travel, then let me know, and maybe I'll turn it into a little bit of a series. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get them this week.